And we are fresh off of the Elimination Chamber. We are on the road to WrestleMania, trademark, and we're here to talk about everything wrestling. And I gotta say, Elimination Chamber was a weird show, but a lot of questions were asked. A lot of questions are starting to get answered, and we're here to talk about it all here on the Wrestling Roundtable podcast. As always, I'm Ryan. Got my buddy Dom wearing the Daniel Bryan t-shirt for a very good reason, which we'll talk about here. And first of all, just just like big picture, let's just look 30,000 feet here. What did you think about the Elimination Chamber? What did you think about our winners, Rhea Ripley and our guy Randy Orton?
Um, I can say that about Elimination Chamber, it was it was good. And when I say good, I say it was definitely over a show like Saturday Night Main Event, where it's just, something to watch, something to put on TV, whatever. But good enough, far superior than that, but not to the where I was just like floored. Like what's a recent PLE that you and I definitely enjoyed? Um I mean, it has been very much, to be honest. But
Yeah,
let's just
yeah,
say,
to be,
okay, just say like, okay, night one of WrestleMania
yeah,
last year,
yeah.
something like that. So not right there at that level, but not below Saturday Night Main Event. So it's kind of mid in that.
This wasn't WrestlePalooza here.
Oh, I still haven't watched it, and I refuse to even put my
Hmm.
eyes on that. But um,
Ain't much to miss.
if anybody has been listening to our show lately, the guys here kind of predicted the show going the way it went. I mean, I'm not trying to get any claps or, just trying to get a phone call from WWE creatives to fill in that vacant spot by a particular guy named Road Dogg Jesse James. But anywho, I just would like to say that the winners were definitely deserving of it because let's face it, all right. Let me just go down the list for the guys. Um, Trick Williams, yes and no, because yes, he is one of the most over guys in the business right now. But no, because he just got there. That's like putting Logan Paul in a title match, and he just put boots on and came out with a nice entrance, which Logan Paul probably would never come out with a great entrance.
Yeah.
Um, Javon Evans, way too young.
Yeah.
I think people in the IWC would probably lose their absolute freaking mind if somebody was be put in a title match for WrestleMania as a Javon Evans. LA Knight, I mean, we just say his name and you already know how that goes. I mean, creative is just basically like, we know you like this guy, he's cool and all, but we're just going to continuously. LA Knight is like the Buffalo
Here's
Bills
the
back in the
carrot.
90s.
Here's the carrot. Here's the carrot. Yeah.
You want a definite picture of LA Knight. He's the Buffalo Bills from the 90s. So,
The comp. Yeah.
uh, Cody, nobody wants to see Cody and Drew. Unfortunately, we're getting it tomorrow night, but at the same time, like for WrestleMania, no, no, no. And Randy Orton. I mean, how many times I got to say this? I'm going to continuously say this till my voice goes out. I want to see 15. I want to see Randy Orton accomplish 15. He will be third, right behind Ric Flair and John Cena. 3 wins away from breaking, going over Rick, then tying with John, and potentially breaking his John record. Now, we're gonna see him win 18, probably not. But you can't sit here and like have this man tied with Triple H. No, no disrespect to Triple H, but Randy is probably, let's see, what is he, the longest reigning active competitor between Triple H and him?
I believe. Yeah, I believe so.
And I mean, he's the apex predator. He's the legend killer. I mean, the list goes on and on. This man has a multitude of RKO clips on social media. I mean, to the point where they've
It's
made it
become a
into
meme for crying out loud.
it became a meme. The man is you do his entrance stance, everybody knows it. Like I cannot fathom Randy Orton just sitting there at 14. He got to be at least 15 or 16. So it was the right choice for him. And oh man, I don't have to gripe on Rhea winning because I mean we'll be here forever. But Rhea was the obvious choice because if no one remembers, I distinctly remember saying this. I said to my brother Ryan here, I said, if Rhea and Io Sky lose those tag team titles that Friday night, I expect Rhea to win the Elimination Chamber. If Rhea wasn't to win or she wasn't the pick, then I wanted Raquel to win because that causes a definite shift in the not Elimination Chamber, Judgment Day dynamic because, obviously Liv, I don't believe had chosen. No, no, no. I think she did. I think she chose Stephanie, got it out of the way. But then, obviously Raquel wins. She goes fight Jade. But like, what if Liv doesn't win the title, and then Raquel beats Jade? Now Raquel has the title, and Liv is just sitting there like, you know, on the spotlight she's at, and she's on the WWE. I'm not excuse me. She's on the WrestleMania promo commercials with all the other girls at the table and stuff, and you promote using her to promote the show and everything, and she don't win the title. It's, you know, while her sidekick is basically winning the title over her. Felt like that would have been a nice dynamic, but with Rhea winning, obviously, she's mommy. We both said it. Mommy's always on
Right.
top, so mommy's going to
The
be
the is the biggest women's star in the game right now.
biggest women star in the game right now, even over the GOAT, self-proclaimed GOAT, Becky Lynch. Not everybody. I mean, everybody says it. Not just her. I
All
don't
right.
say it. I'm sorry. I mean, I do say
Sports
she's one of
Illustrated. Sports Illustrated says it. Sports Illustrated.
Sports Illustrated. Is full. Anyway, so definitely glad that Rhea won. I'm looking forward to the match. Obviously, because of the extracurricular activity that's going on X right now. We
Ooh,
don't have to
yeah.
really get all into that, but let's just say it's getting real spicy on there right now.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah, spices. That's definitely a good word for it because it's starting to get not sure if they're working their way into a shoot or not.
Yeah, I don't know whether
It
it's a
kind of feels
work.
like they are.
I don't know if it's a work or somebody finna get worked. Next time they see each other. Oh, it might even happen tomorrow because Rhea's supposed to be on SmackDown tomorrow. So
About to get that work.
yeah, somebody's finna get that work. So
Exactly. Exactly. But you know, just couldn't agree with you more. I feel like Randy Orton needs that 15th title reign. I feel like getting him with the confetti and standing on the turnbuckle, fading to black on night one, I think is just kind of um the image that I think really makes for something that can go on a promo package, 20 years from now. Um, and Rhea winning the women's elimination chamber, I kind of feel like it was, I kind of feel like that was the chalk choice, especially after, losing the tag team championships. I kind of feel like that was the chalk choice, but, you know, I think the match could be good with Jade Cargill, if they don't end up like killing each other in the middle of the ring.
I also wish this is just me. I love Rhea. I mean, I love all the women. Let's not get that twisted. far as character wise, um, creative didn't do an absolute job with Jade, even winning the title or even doing anything with her now being champion. Um, and I had high hopes. I had high hopes after her eye got busted open in that match with Nia and all that. I was like, "Ooh, this could be a little edgier. They can bring the AEW Jade back. Excuse me. They can bring the AEW Jade, which they trying. They let her say, "I'm that B" and all this other
Yeah.
stuff. But yet, like you that B, but you haven't fought anyone outside of Jordan Grace, and like that's your only title defense since you won the
Yeah,
title.
like one title defense in like over 100 days or something like that.
And this is the not to say it's the undisputed women's title, but I mean it's basically the carbon copy of the undisputed man's title. So
Right.
for that title not even be featured, and the men's title not even be featured, obviously because they're trying to get the number one contender, it's really telling of like what WWE creative is going for towards WrestleMania. Because it's crazy because when you think back a year ago, like they was having the number one contender for the undisputed men's title, which is now too. But the I guess the vibes were different. Obviously, Cody was a champion, blah blah blah. But like people in the cage were what Seth Rollins, CM Punk, John Cena. It was like big time names in that match.
Hmm.
Where this year you only got two. Really? I mean, no disrespect to LA Knight, but LA Knight is just LA Knight. I mean,
Yeah.
and then you literally take out one of your biggest names in Jey Uso just to put Logan Paul in that match. And then on top
Oh,
of that,
that didn't make a damn bit of sense.
and then on top of that, you make Logan Paul eliminate three people and try to push it like he eliminated these people. One person he eliminated, it had nothing to do with him. The person got hit with a finisher from somebody else and he pinned that person. Um, I think his first elimination, I think the one elimination that he did to eliminate somebody was Javon Evans. And Javon Evans almost broke his neck because Logan Paul wanted to do that stupid finisher that he does and almost dropped the man on his neck.
yeah, that could have been bad.
But the bright side of it all, though, the bright side of it all, is that Randy Orton pulled a Randy Orton move. He let Cody drop his drop his guard just to hit him with an RKO. And I was like, that is so old school Randy Orton. And I love the fact that they're starting to become WWE again, in a sense, because the you got to notice everything. You got to know the little things. This thing with him and Aleister Black, obviously, is you know not that important. But the fact of that matter is kind of like Aleister Black has been poking that bear. He's been poking and poking and poking at the other side of Randy that nobody talks about, nobody brings up, nobody talks about it. It's just talk to Randy like he's not that guy. They talk to Randy like he's not that '09 Randy that will literally kick your head off. He kick your head off, he kicks your mom's head off, your wife, your cousins out. It don't matter who. I mean, the man literally pops up in Triple H's house and like they brawl, and I think who Randy got thrown out the window or Triple H got thrown out the window or something like that. But he burnt Bray Wyatt's house down. Or Sister Abigail's house, or whoever house it was. I can't
Hmm.
remember. He burnt that house down and then did his signature pose while standing in front of a burning house. So I'm just tired of the slander. I'm tired of all these people overlooking my guy like he's not that dude.
Yeah,
And I'm so glad that Randy Orton is being featured in a big time match. I mean, this is WrestleMania we're talking about. This ain't
yeah,
some Saturday night main event. This is the creme de la creme. This is the Super Bowl of
yeah,
wrestling.
yeah, no, completely. I love what you said about that. Just that, like, if you weren't aware, like, you see Randy Orton now, you know, family guy, dad, you know, a little bit longer in the tooth, a little bit older, a little bit wiser. But you don't remember what he was like back in '09 to about 2012 when that man was an absolute killer. And like that psychology, it was a subtle moment that you picked up on there, but it was so true because that was a total Randy Orton move. That was a total Randy Orton move just to kind of think, like make the crowd think that Cody was going to get his finisher on him. But then he turned around, hit him with an RKO, picked up the victory. That was a subtle move that you picked up on there, but I was just so important, I think, just in
Or
the way that that match unfolded, but also in the way that this whole WrestleMania feud, this whole
build up.
WrestleMania, like road to WrestleMania. I hate that phrase, by the way, but this whole road to WrestleMania is gonna go.
Yeah. And also, like, I do love the press conferences they have. Like,
Hmm.
you sit and you watch them talk, and you hear Randy say, like, Cody is a dear friend of mine, and do I feel bad about that? No, because this 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 match is important to Randy. This match would be important to anybody. You don't get to a match like this by doing it the right way. You got to cut corners. You got to, you know, be that ex predator. You can't sit there and, like, that's the thing. And that's what I love about Randy. Randy has always been that anti heel or face. He's always been in the middle. Like, we love this guy now and still remember the horrible things he did back when he was '09 Randy. And yet, like, we praise him, right?
Hmm.
Uh we praise all the guys like The Rock, uh Stone Cold, he was a heel at one point. Shawn Michaels, oh my God. I mean, the list goes on with him, Triple H, like all our greats and retirees, whatever, who have became heel, we loved we love now because obviously they gotta go to the evil side and then get back good or whatever. But and that's the thing that we've been preaching about Cody, right? This babyface run can only go so long to the point where it gets stale and you get tired of eating um, white bread.
Yeah,
Sometimes I want a Hawaiian bread or
yeah,
a wheat bread or I want my sandwich toasted. At
yeah,
Subway. You can't sit there and
yeah.
constantly get the same old thing over and over. Like, I mean, I hate to bring it up, because we're trying to stay a decent show and not get crazy. But like when Roman Reigns said that about John Cena, John Cena, you like the missionary position over and over, like everybody popped for that because
Yeah.
it was.
But it's true. Yeah.
We got 20 years of you in the same darn shorts, in the same knee pads, elbow pads. Like, you literally said you wore them knee pads for 20 something years. Brother, I mean, I know he probably watched them, but come on, brother. Like, you have got to be kidding me. I mean, we seen how many variations of the Undertaker? We've seen Dead Man. We've seen American Badass. We've seen what was it? Oh, they called him something else.
Big evil.
Yeah, yeah, that
Yeah, yeah. I
the
mean,
legend, all this other stuff.
yeah.
Yeah, like Shawn Michaels, you know, sexy boy. Heartbreak Kid, Mr. WrestleMania, this, that, and the third. Like you got to change up. You got to change up. You
Yeah.
cannot go for however long you go as the American Nightmare. Or even, yes, you can still be the American Nightmare, but this time be a nightmare. Stop being a nightmare to me, being the same old stick, and be something different. Be the MJF of WWE. I mean, not to say take his stick or whatever, but the case may be. But just be the Cody Rhodes we know you were in the Indies. That Cody Rhodes was he was out.
Nasty, nasty.
Nasty, nasty. Yes, he probably on the same level as Randy Orton back in '09. So like,
Hmm.
and I get it. He cannot do that because obviously the kids love him, blah blah blah, and like I hate the fact, and I'm right there with Randy Orton on this. Kayfabe is dead to the
Yeah.
point where like it don't hit the same anymore because outside of what you see on TV, they hang out, they do this, they do that, they're a family, and like, and obviously as wrestling connoisseurs as we are, we know that, but we still like the aspect of like not knowing. Like all these years I didn't know Stone Cold and The Rock were like best friends. And I didn't know until like later on down the line that him and Stone Cold had a bet. I bet you a case of beer that you can outdo the last time I stunned you. And that's why The Rock was going insane. Like every time he gets stunned, he
Yeah.
flipping all over the ring. I would have never done that. I just thought that, like, obviously, at my older me knows that he's just acting, but like I didn't know the con context of him getting stunned like that. But now I know, and it makes it even more funnier than that, knowing that they had a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, even back to Rick and Dusty. Rick and Dusty were apparently thick as thieves off screen, but you know,
I wouldn't have known that
exactly.
until later on down the line as they older and retired. Like we know now, but like this new era is like I love it and I hate it because I love it because it's expanding, it's getting better, it's getting broader, the production is great, this, that, and the third, whatever the case may be. But you're peeling the curtain back too much. That's
Facts.
what that's what made wrestling so great is because you didn't know. You had assumptions, you had some type of clues, but you never really truly knew. Like now, like with Jade and Rhea, I don't know, right? It
Right.
could be a work, it could not be a work, but like one thing, if you notice, we have never seen them two together outside of what we see on TV in the ring together, but we haven't seen them on social media taking pictures together. We haven't seen them on, well, I haven't seen season two, thank God, and I don't think I'm ever going to. But on Unreal, you know, like Unreal is by far the worst thing that could ever happen to WWE because the heat that CM Punk and Seth Rollins had for each other. I mean, still do. Obviously, we're gonna kayfabe that they still hate each other, but
Right.
I would have never known they have that much respect for each other to the point where they will work with each other just to continue the picture of them hating each other.
I'm not
But
here to make friends. I'm here to make money.
yes,
Yeah.
and I get
And there's still plenty of money in that. Yeah.
and obviously, like we all have that person that we work with that we can't stand, but at the same time, we got to do what we got to do to make that money because bills
Right.
don't stop. But
Right.
there is a little bit of ounce of somewhat of a respect between them because I mean they have said little nice things about you. Hey, recently CM Punk said something about Seth Rollins being one of the greatest. So
Yeah.
back in the early 2000s and 90s and stuff like that, you would have never heard anybody say anything about great about each other. You would have heard how many times we heard so many terrible things about Hulk Hogan from post. How many? I mean, like, my heart to this day. This is not kayfabe. This is just real life. But you would have still been thinking like kayfabe wise, Bret Hart hates Goldberg, but come to find out he really hates Goldberg. Like, I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah, no, yeah. Like seemed like every public statement Bret Hart makes is like noun, verb, F. Bill Goldberg. I mean, it just like,
and
yeah,
what's the
it
segment?
sucks, but let it go, homie. Let it go.
What's the segment we always do on like our group chat where somebody do a suicide dive and we say Bret Hart's at the house kicking the air or he's losing his damn top over somebody
Punching
doing a
his kitten
suicide.
or something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's punching the kid or something because every time somebody do a suicide dive, Bret Hart is just punched a hole in the wall.
exactly. Exactly. Well, we got a lot to, we got a lot to talk about here coming out of the Elimination Chamber. And we finally figured out what was in the crate. And it turns out to be Danhausen and about 10 dancing girls. Now, I got some thoughts about I got some thoughts about that, but I'd rather focus on the segment that he had with Adam Pearce in Judgment Day backstage, where Danhausen, who I've always been a fan of since he came into AEW, put a curse on Dom. And what did Dominik Mysterio go out and do? Drop the Intercontinental title to Mr. Pento.
His first title in WWE.
I really, it would crack me up to no end if it turns out that that goofy Danhausen is the catalyst that breaks up Judgment Day. And I know you would just mark out completely about it, but I just think it would be absolutely hilarious if it was something that silly, that goofy ends up being the downfall of the Judgment Day.
Ryan,
Yeah, you are like a giddy kid right now. I love that.
if you could have saw my face, I think the reaction I got last Monday night for him cursing Dom is the reaction I think they wanted when he came out of that box.
Mhm.
I was like, what WTF is this when he came out of the box? I was like, oh my God, it's Dan Houser. Okay. So I had the same reaction as the Chicago fans on Sunday night. Or was it Saturday night? Saturday night, excuse me.
Saturday.
But Monday night, I was like a kid at a candy store. You would have thought Santa Claus had popped up in real life because my mouth dropped. I was like, and when he did like that, and they turned and looked at each other like, what? And then they turned back, he disappeared. I was like, oh, we are so in. Like, yes, this is gonna happen. And then like I watched that match the entire time, and I'm sitting there like, please, 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 if please, God, please, please, if you do anything right for me, please make this happen. And I be darned. He suicide dived on Judgment Day, and then it opened up like Dom was gonna win. And I was like, when he did that Mexican Destroyer and he pinned Dom, you would have thought I won the IC title because I was like, thank you God, Penta finally got a championship. We finally put a title on somebody that's actually going to defend it night in and night out, put on great matches. Dom don't have a title no more. Keep the ball rolling. I want this man to lose the AAA title now. Like I don't care who you put it on. I'd rather you put it on Finn. But if you don't, just get the title off of him. And like for this to I'm stuttering right now. For this to potentially be the reason why Judgment Day breaks up is by far I love it. Thank you. Somebody must have been listening creative, but thank you because their run has been a joke. Okay. Their run should have stopped after they lost all them titles. That should have been it. But it kept going, it kept going. He kept trying to squeeze that liquid out of that towel. Like it's dried up. It should have been gone. So for it to end like this is mwah, I just chef's kiss.
There's a rumor going around online that this is going to start a super long losing streak from Dom, which bring it on. Just bring it on because
Who was that dude? Who was that dude that had that like 142 loser streak? It was some I can't remember his name, but you remember that character? And like his first win was he won the tag team titles. It was like that's what like broke the streak
I
for him.
like I don't know why I just flashed on um the character from Mike Tyson's Punch Out, Glass Joe,
I
like
forgot what his
one
name
in
was.
99 or something like
It was
that.
crazy. Let's see. He had red hair, I remember. Say Heath Slater had a losing streak. He won. mm, He had the longest where he won 27 matches in a row. No, that's not him. It was somebody else. I'm like,
I was about to say Heath Slater got kids. He can't be losing all the
oh,
time.
here we go. Here we go. Yeah. Kurt Hawkins. Kurt Hawkins.
Yes. Oh my
Yes.
God, I hadn't thought of that name in years. Yes.
Yes. He oh my God. Right. It said he lost 269 matches. Since since he returned to WWE in 2016, Kurt Hawkins has the most infamous losing streak of 269 matches. If Dom breaks 269 matches, I swear on everything I love, we have to do a episode just strictly talking about Dom and his losing streak. Matter of fact, we need to make a. If he goes on a losing streak, every episode we got to have at least 10 seconds of talking about that match.
Yes. Yes. If he goes on a losing streak, we need to make our podcast, the Wrestling Roundtable podcast presented by Danhausen, because it's because of him. It's because of that curse that he went on that losing streak.
Oh man, if Dom, look here, I'm saying this right
I
here.
mean, I
I
mean,
mean,
you could probably call this the podcast Hausen.
I absolutely mean this. If Dom Mysterio, and I mean two things. If Dom Mysterio goes on a little streak, first I will buy a Danhausen shirt. I'm going to
Yes.
get a shirt. I will get a shirt. Number two, if this
And wear it
man
on the
goes on a
podcast. Yeah.
if this man goes on a 270 consecutive losing streak, I will paint my face like Danhausen. I put that on everything I love. I am a man of my word. If Dom Mysterio goes 270 losses, I will paint my face like Danhausen. And you could, I mean, you basically pinned it right here. We're recording. We're gonna upload it on YouTube and all the platforms. I will paint my face like that dude.
Oh, and I'm gonna clip this for a reel too.
Oh,
Don't you
clip it.
worry.
Oh,
Uh,
matter of fact, I want to go viral. I want it to go viral. I want WWE to tag. I am promising you this. I will paint my face like Danhausen if Dom Mysterio goes on a 270 consecutive losing streak. I want that man to lose every match possible. I want him to lose another match against his dad. Matter of fact, I wanted the match to be hair versus career, and then Ray beats him, and then Dom has to cut his hair and cut that. I almost crashed out. Cut that mustache off. How about that? It was about to get real. I would have to hit the bleep button because I was about to say cut that mustache off.
I mean,
So,
this is about to turn into the Wrestling Roundtable After Dark.
but
Oh
I
God.
kid you not. If this man goes on a lose streak, I swear I am going on www.shop.com. I'm putting that shirt in the cart. I'm ordering it, and I'm wearing it on the show. And every time Danhausen comes out, I'm gonna celebrate Danhausen just like I celebrate Roman Reigns. I'm gonna put two in the sky. One in this right here. I'm doing this. Yes, yes, that's what I'm doing. That's exactly what I'm doing. Every time he comes out, I'm doing just like that.
Or you'll be cursed.
Yes. Yukis.
I do find it hilarious, though, that the IWC, the bastion of sanity that the IWC can be sometimes, they're kind of crashing out about Danhausen coming over to WWE, and I don't understand why.
I don't get it. I mean,
Because,
you would
because it's a long line of goofy, kind of seemingly just pointless characters, all the way from Hurricane to Santino to,
mhm.
even R-Truth. It kind of fits right into that legacy.
I get why they crashing out because of, we talked about this before the show. I get why they crashing out because like a particular character like him, the build up that they did it was obviously a random Monday night. Hey,
They did
Adam
they
Pierce,
did
you
they didn't do it they didn't do him any favors with that introduction. I will say that. Even though I
yeah,
was cracking up laughing watching that whole thing, they didn't do him any favors as a character. But they definitely redeemed it Monday night.
yeah, it was one of those wrong place, wrong time moments. Like
Yeah.
you would have did it any kind of random like, okay, just do it the same way, but build it up to like Saturday night main event. That would have been fine. I mean, at this point, Saturday night main event is more of a filler till we get to more important PLE. So that would have been fine. That would have been perfect. Get people to try to, buy Peacock and try to tune in to Saturday night main event to see who it is. I get it. But like we were in Chicago, we had Elimination Chamber. Last time something happened at Elimination Chamber, John Cena turned heel. So maybe you're trying to top what you did with John Cena. Man, let's put a big wooden box there and date it. Don't open till the date of the Elimination Chamber. So now everybody's freaking out. Oh, it could be the final boss, Rick, uh, The Rock. Or it could be Vince McMahon coming back. It could be Chris Jericho or Paige or this, that, or third. All the rumors were just flying all over the place,
They're
right? And
ridiculous. Yeah.
obviously Dan Hauser, people mentioned that, and maybe him,
Mm.
but like if you would have put that on a list, Dan Hauser would have been like way low of expectations. And just for him to be the one that pops out. I mean, Chicago has every right to feel the way they feel. I mean, anybody at
Exactly.
home. Because it was more like, really? Okay, that's cool. Can we get to the next match now? So that's how I felt. But then now if you want a reaction that you wanted, you should have really did this. It comes out, do all that, blah, blah, blah. Then you had that backstage segment leading up to Raw. You want a reaction out of me? That's what you got Monday night. Because
Hmm.
you definitely got an excitement out of me. Because when he said you push, I was like, "Oh, we finally getting it. Oh, we are so on the road to what I tell you last episode. Damn road to WrestleMania. We're on the road to oblivion, just destruction of Judgment Day. Like no more. And I'm so for it. Like anything WWE has got right for this year and a couple months. I mean, all the demise of the bull crap that we had to go through with the John Cena retirement tour and what they did to AJ Styles and blah blah blah. And this, like, obviously AJ Styles retirement announcement, like, getting inducted to the Hall of Fame, that was number one, a bright spot. But number two for me is definitely that has a cursing Dom. So you
We'll
you
see
kick
where it
my 20
goes.
look, you kick my 2026 off real good. We ain't even
Yes.
but 3 months into the new year, and you just definitely outside of pulling on my dash strings and making me want to get a little emotional with AJ Styles,
Sure, sure.
you gave me the highest of highs seeing Dom get cursed. Okay, and they're only gonna get better. So
I love it. I love it. Um, and before we move on, just a random observation here, but if we get Danhausen on Friday Night SmackDown, put him in a segment with Drew McIntyre, and that ends with a curse. Think we get a new champion Friday night?
if Dan curses Drew, then you put that curse as a legitimate curse. Okay,
Yes.
because you go and curse Dom. Dom is mid card at best. But then you go to Friday night and curse Drew, and Drew is like, Drew is 6'5", big solid dude, and like the undisputed champion, right?
And
He
and, and
he's Mr.
Danhausen's maybe 180 pounds soaking wet.
Soaking wet, and you curse Mr. Pettiness, just finna lose, and obviously when Drew sees red, he sees red. So now to get that curse off of him, he's going to beat the holy crap out of Danhausen. He's going to beat Danhausen so bad that we are going to just basically call him what we've been calling him before we try to get his name right. And what was he? Oh, I know we say Danhausen, but Danhauser or whatever. We just totally butcher his name.
Danhausen, yes.
Yeah,
Yes, yeah.
Danhausen, Heisen, whatever. That's how bad we're gonna beat. That's how bad Drew is going to beat him to the point where we just completely keep butchering his name forever. So
Yeah, beat the face paint off of him.
man, he gonna kick the face paint. And the face paint gonna get kicked so hard off, it's gonna be on the bottom of Drew's foot.
Exactly.
He's gonna kick it so
Exactly.
hard the paint is gonna fall on Jacob Fatu's face.
Uh, oh my God. Yeah. Um, well, before we go much further, over the past few months, we've been advertising that we've got that my guy Dom uh, was able to obtain an autographed T-shirt from the hardcore legend Mick Foley himself, and we've been waiting to give it away, and we have our winner finally. We have our winner, and if you want to do the honors,
Yes, sir. First and foremost, I would like to say thank you to everyone that has followed our page. Thank you for anyone who has been listening in on our episodes and following us from the very beginning or even just in the middle of our beginning or now. Um, and we also would like to continue the movement and just say please share, like, comment, chime in. Even if you like to email either me or Ryan on some ideas that y'all would love to hear us talk about. We want y'all to be a part of the show just as well as in any of the episodes that we do. But our winner for our first to hopefully be many um drawings is Jeff Forford. Jeff Forford is one of our followers here on Wrestling Roundtable Pod on our Facebook page. Uh, I will be shooting that out to you very soon, sir. Congratulations and thank you for following us and continuing to follow us. And hopefully we will, obviously if my boy R Truth, saying give me some autograph gear or whatever. But hopefully the next giveaway we have it'll be something of that magnitude or something better. But just
yeah,
keep rocking with us. So
absolutely. Congratulations, Jeff. Thanks to everybody who's followed us on social media. As I say every week, we're live on Facebook. We're on Twitter. I refuse to call it the other word, but we're on Twitter. We're also on Instagram. Follow us on YouTube, Apple Podcast, Spotify, the whole nine. Um, thank you so much for everybody for rocking with us, for joining us on what has been just a hell of a lot of fun. So thank you so much. And again, congratulations to Jeff. You got that shirt coming out to you, brother.
Right here. Oh,
Yeah,
it's fading in and out.
yeah,
There you
you
go.
just,
Yeah, that's right.
yep, there you go. There you go. Well, one more last note that I want to talk about wrestling wise before we take this home here is that segment between CM Punk and Roman Reigns to close out Monday Night Raw was one of the most, pardon the pun, and I mean this with every word of my body, pardon the pun, but that was one of the most raw segments I have seen on WWE television in a long time. The way that those two are able to carry this feud, carry this program on the mic has been absolutely remarkable. Now we always knew that CM Punk was, one of the best ever on the mic. But if this, this is 2026. If this was 10 years ago, if this was 2016 Roman Reigns, it would have CM Punk would have cooked that man, got a knife and fork, and then ate him because that he would have just absolutely eaten him alive. But that segment, and it got awfully personal, a little uncomfortably personal, in my opinion.
It's not ironic that CM Punk is the first to draw blood, as far as like, you know, talk about somebody's family or something very personal. Uh, the first face off, Roman told CM Punk, I watch how you mention my family, right? And CM Punk obviously he likes to poke that bear. He likes to think that he got in somebody's head. Um, and obviously anybody that watched that promo, um, you know, when you talk about somebody's family, especially someone's late great parent, that touches a part of your soul that it turns a man black or turns a woman black, where they just see red and is pretty much get out of the way. Um, it reminds me of like basically whenever Stone Cold snaps and he just it's just whoever gets in the way can get it too. So I envision next week Roman is going to come. He's going to retaliate, but I don't think it's going to be the old school way of WWE where you could say you butt ugly and then boom they fighting. It's definitely a chess game between them two, and I believe Roman has been and still is having the upper hand on CM Punk because if you notice, if you go back and watch a couple of the both of the promos, every time Roman says something that hits CM Punk, uh, his mannerism, like his facial expressions changes. Like he's really got punched in the face. He's sitting there chilling, and then all of a sudden, boom, Roman says something. He's like, he gets to moving, and his eyes get big. One particular statement, I think he said in the first one, I had to turn my hat back because I was ready for this one. But I think the first promo they had, and Roman said something about, well, obviously, you know, I hate you. It set CM Punk back like, oh, I got this guy, oh, I'm finna get him, whatever the case. But when Roman said, I'm going to retire you and send you down to NXT, that struck a nerve with CM Punk because it's like I came back to win championships, I came back to make money, blah blah blah. But this guy is talking about he's going to retire me, like he's going to retire. And it's interesting that Roman said, "I'm going to retire you." When we literally got a retired, what we call him, the career killer.
The real, yep.
Yeah, Gunther. So that was interesting, but I'm I'm sorry, but when you say a line like CM Punk said, "Ain't no way in the world." I mean, you let the man. Not only do he says it, he jets right past you, right? And
He
you look
dropped the
at him.
mic. Yeah.
Yeah, he dropped the mic. And he jets past you. You look backwards, brother. You wouldn't have got that mic down on the ground quick enough for you get a right hook to your face. Saying some crazy stuff like that.
That mic would have been stuck somewhere that you probably couldn't remove it.
The belt would have been stuck somewhere. You wouldn't like it wouldn't have been no
Exactly.
heavyweight championship match because you would have been the champion for the rest of your life because that belt would have been stuck so far up your crack that
Yeah.
it's unretrievable. So next, obviously, you and I are very intelligent people. We know where it's going. Once you bring up Roman's father, all roads lead to two things that Roman Reigns is going to mention. One is a very lovely lady, current IC champion as we know it. I'm not gonna mess up the name this time. I know I was butchering it during pre-production, but AJ Lee. He's
Good
definitely
boy.
gonna bring up AJ Lee. Obviously, he brought up Becky with Seth Rollins. So,
Hmm.
but number two, and before I say this, rest in power. All the dog lovers out there in the world. I know how y'all feel. I'm not a dog. I don't have a dog. I do have a cat. It's my daughter's cat, by the way. I just want to get that out of the way. But all my dog lovers out there, he is, and I guarantee he will mention the late great Larry.
Yes, he will.
Roman, I mean CM Punk has recently came out with gear on that has Larry all over his jacket and this, that, and third. So
Think he got a tribute tattoo of him as well, too.
I mean, got a tribute tattoo. So like, come on, he's going to mention Larry, and he's going to mention Larry in a way that's probably going to be disgusting. Let's face it.
Yeah. And as the dog lover on this podcast, I don't know if I'm looking forward to that.
You're right. Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah, yeah. From somebody who had to, had to say goodbye to a very dear friend of mine named Pete, a little over a year ago. That's probably going to hurt me personally, but
Let's still,
character wise, I get it. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Character wise, I get it because if you tell a man, I don't care who you are, if you tell a man that you're going to bury him next to his father, next to his dead father, you brought up something really interesting in our pre-production meeting. Do you think the old Roman Reigns would have let that slide at all without, without his fist connected with CM Punk's head?
Oh, the old Roman, either the old Roman would have started fighting, or CM Punk wouldn't have left that ring without Jay or Jimmy's foot going right across his head.
Absolutely.
Have a Air Force One signal. I mean, a symbol right there in his forehead.
Yeah.
But obviously Roman's alone.
Hmm.
But one thing I've noticed since that promo, and I think I sent the video to you. Um, is it Zella Fatu?
Zilla Fatu. Yep.
Zella Fatu, Nia Jax. Uh, that particular line didn't go too well with certain Samoans. And when you think about it, Roman did say, like, if it wasn't for my family, you wouldn't have had a program to come back to. So, I was talking to you about this before the show, and Roman is very, 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 very sadistic. He's very manipulative, like you pointed out to me. He manipulated his whole family to doing his bidding to be champion for as long as he was. Um, and I also pointed out the fact that one of my favorite wrestlers of all time, Mr. Big Time Dwayne The Rock Johnson, is in fact part of TKO's table That means he's over all the wrestlers in WWE. That means that he is related to Roman Reigns. And I thought of an interesting thing to kind of, I guess, plant the seed for a return from Roman. I mean, excuse me, not Roman. Return from the final boss. And if anyone is not familiar with Rock and what he, you know, what he can be involved in with the whole CM Punk and Roman Reigns feud, uh, the Rock and Roman, I mean, not Rock, I'm sorry, excuse me. The Rock and CM Punk go back all the way to 2013, where they had a rivalry for the
Hmm.
WWE title, in which um CM Punk had that title, and they had a few words, and obviously The Rock won that title, but and it's interesting enough that I say this, and I didn't look up anything. I swear on everything I love. I didn't look up anything about The Rock or potential happening. I just the feeling I had because of me and my brother Ryan here discussing, potential things that could possibly happen, and then I am going to be pushing this till officially The Rock has just retired and said I'm not doing it anymore. Obviously, they're going to be in WrestleMania 43. Yes, 43 in Saudi Arabia, right? Saudi Arabia want The Rock. Saudi Arabia will dump out all kind of water cash. It don't matter what the amount is for The Rock to if he's going to have one more match, it has to be in Saudi Arabia. So, with that being said, why not lead to WrestleMania 43 with a little Easter egg of what potentially could happen going to 43 from 42? So, one thing you do not do is disrespect a Samoan family, right? What did CM Punk just do? He disrespected not only Roman, but he disrespected his father.
His late
And
father.
yes, his late great father. And as I'm speaking right now, I am looking up the relationship between The Rock and Roman's father. And I don't want to pause in between talking to you guys. But they are they're blood brothers. I mean their bond are they're not related by blood, but they're related by, marriage in a sense. Um, let's see. I mean, slow up their family. I mean, not this family, excuse me, slow up the episode. But anyway, just know that Roman and Rock are related. And
Yes.
obviously, The Rock is very, very, very passionate about his family, just as Roman is. So I'm sure the final boss has heard the comments. I mean, even if he hasn't heard the comments, it's social media era. Everybody's blowing up his DMs. Everybody's sharing the page. Everybody's doing this. Hey, what you gonna do, Rock? What you gonna do? So you and I both have talked about this since last year. They're going to the scene of the crime. They're going to the place where night two wasn't so fortunate enough. To the point where everybody was poo-pooing on it for a whole entire year about WWE and what they're doing with the creative team. So with us going back to the scene of the crime, these stories about the tickets are doing horrendous, right?
Yep.
What way and way, what way and what order do you think they would go and depths they would go to get people to tune in and buy these tickets. One particular person that could possibly make it happen, is The Rock, right? I mean, I'm not finna give it any energy, but I mean, they're potentially trying to get Tom Brady involved in WrestleMania. Like, are you freaking kidding me? I love Tom Brady. I didn't love him while he was still playing in the NFL, but I do love him now. I love this Tom Brady. I love the retired Tom Brady. He doesn't care, right? He kind of puts me in the mind of just us Joe Blows. You get to a certain age where you just don't care. You want to be free with your mouth. So
Hmm.
but that's for another episode for another time. I know we're going to talk about it on the road to WrestleMania about Tom Brady's comments about WWE and his relationship with Logan Paul and what's going on with that. But back to The Rock. I smell what they're cooking. Okay. I think me and my brother here has been doing this podcast for far long enough time to start catching little Easter eggs and planting our seed in like what potentially could happen. And some of our predictions are quite on point. And some of them are kind of like, far fetched, but at the same time, it makes sense in a sense.
Right.
And one of the things that we've preached from beginning of this new year and that we want so bad to happen is I don't care what you do with your product, but I need you to make it make sense. And the writing on the wall is right there in front of your face. Like, if you want people to buy them high price tickets, right? You have to get The Rock involved.
Yes, you do.
The storyline is already where it's at. You don't need them, but you wanted to go over the atmosphere and just like totally into the black hole to where it comes to multitude of universes where people like want to tune in to this. You get the Rock involved. It is going to take this thing to a level where shit, it makes me feel like all right, the Rock getting involved now. CM Punk finna go get Stone Cold. Like that's how it gets me. It gets you going down that rabbit hole to where the possibilities are endless.
The possibilities are definitely endless, but one thing that, and I hate to say this, but I feel like I've developed a real cynical streak over the past year, watching WWE, kind of analyzing it for the show, but just watching it as a fan. I've developed a real cynical streak over just what in the hell they seem to be doing with, some of their programs. And I just, the jury's still out for me. Although I really think if they can get The Rock involved somehow, the more I talk about Tom Brady, the more that I don't want to talk about Tom Brady. But he, there's a lot of news stories coming out today, and I don't want to pull a crash out. I don't want to crash out.
I can
But
save
one
you from it.
thing, yeah, I leave that to you, my friend. But what I really want to see out of WWE is just get me excited again. Just get me excited about the product again. That's not that much to ask. You know what I mean? It's just not that much to ask because this is, March and April are my two favorite months of the year for sports. You've got the big dance. You've got baseball opening day. You've got WrestleMania. You've got the Masters, even though I'm not a huge golf fan. I do watch the Masters from time to time. You've got a lot of great stuff happening in the months of March and April. Get me excited about WrestleMania again because this was, it's appointment television. It's been appointment television for me since I was 10 years old. There have been times when my fandom has kind of waned a little bit, but it's always been there. And just make it make sense. Get me excited again. Just get me excited again. That's not that much to ask.
And to add to your excitement, and we love the fan theory here on the show. If you're not familiar with our show, um, as
We
you was
do? Oh my God. Yeah.
as you was brilliantly, wonderfully telling that, and I'm with you on that. I've been a fan since I was 10, and like I said, to I'm blue in the face. Rock is one of my favorite all-time wrestlers, but also another person that was my all-time favorite wrestler, Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Mhm.
And for the past couple of WrestleManias, his name has been name dropped. And most recently, he was on the Chris Van Vliet show, and he said he still can go. He's been in good shape, and like he possibly would like to do one more. So, what from a rating 1 to 10? And I already know your answer, but and I have a theory on how he possibly could get involved. Okay, so from 1 to 10, where would your excitement be at if it's possible that Stone Cold would show up to WrestleMania?
Depends on the reason.
Oh, okay. All right.
Depends on the reason.
Yeah.
Um, if it's just like a random appearance, maybe like a six. But if it's like a reason, something to get me excited, I'm like an eight or a nine, easy. But it's got to make
Uh,
sense and it's got to be for a reason.
all right. Here's
And
the
not
reason.
and not just to come out and announce the attendance numbers either, like he did last year.
Oh no, this is not. This is definitely not it. All right. So to the road to WrestleMania, and CM Punk and Roman Reigns are the big time ticket. And obviously after that name drop that CM Punk did, if The Rock gets involved, right, and a bruise his position of power, all right. We've had this happen before. If you remember when The Rock came out and he was talking and he slapped Cody Rhodes and then him and Triple H kind of got into it somewhat. What if we get that again? Right? But what if we get it to a level where not necessarily fisticuffs get thrown around, but it gets to a point where, all right, we already saw another person in power lose their SHIT in Nick Aldis, right? And we know who Triple H is, right? We know who he was. I mean, that person still is in there somewhere deep down inside. Triple H ain't gonna take too much disrespect from anybody, especially The Rock, right?
Right.
No matter where his position is in power. So
And,
what
and,
if we
and
have
and
a
to be
segment?
clear, we're not talking Dwayne and Paul here. We're talking The Rock and Triple H.
Oh yeah, we're talking their former stage names in that ring.
Hmm.
Rock comes out talking spicy, right? He inserts himself somehow in that match. Not necessarily like he's fighting or whatever the case may be, but like going back old school to where somehow Vince McMahon inserts himself to the match where he's either the uh, referee or he's the what's that person that rings the bell?
Timekeeper.
Timekeeper. Yeah, I remember one time I think Vince McMahon was a timekeeper for a match. I'm not sure if it was Stone Cold or somebody, but yes. So The Rock inserts himself being a special guest referee. And Triple H is like, oh, ain't you double hockey sticks? No. But Triple H can't get physical, obviously. We know why.
Right.
So he has a special guest to fill in his shoes for that match as the timekeeper. Stone Cold Steve Austin.
All right, I'm aligned.
So you have Stone Cold Steve Austin as the timekeeper. You have The Rock as the referee. Now, the reason why I say Stone Cold is because Stone Cold obviously has history with The Rock. He has history with Triple H. He has history with authority in general, right? He also has history with CM Punk. If you don't remember, and I'm not saying that they eventually will have a match between the two, but I do know they have general respect for each other because obviously both of them kind of mirror each other. But obviously
Hmm.
Stone Cold did it first. So CM Punk would technically be mirroring what Stone Cold was. So, obviously The Rock comes back, him and Roman are kind of like getting in CM Punk's stuff. Like basically CM Punk probably have a regular old match to kind of fine tune himself for the match or whatever. But then here comes The Rock. They jump CM Punk, beating the holy crap out of CM Punk, right? The glass breaks. Do you know? I don't know what city they'll be in. I don't know. I don't care what. I really don't care what city it be in. They can be in, uh, you know, a high school building or whatever the case may be. That music go off, Stone Cold comes out, that whole entire building will explode. Okay,
Yes.
to the point where that roof is probably far across America. You set up something like that with them two icons in that match. Take my money. I want to watch it on ESPN. I want to pay for somebody's ESPN so they can watch it, so I can watch it at their house. I will try my everlasting best. I will start selling myself to get a ticket
Yes.
to Las Vegas to see that match. Because do you know the overall just enjoyment? Like the kid inside of me is losing his mind if that ever happens. To see them two in the ring
Absolutely.
again. Like that's all I've been wishing. Like outside of Rock versus Roman, Stone Cold versus The Rock, part what 4?
Mm-hmm.
I- You know, you can have a man fight in their 90s, and you still get a pop out of me. I don't give a
Absolutely.
darn. I don't give a darn what. I mean, they both can be in walkers, and I'm still gonna watch that. Okay,
I mean, they can still swing them walkers now. Come on.
right? I mean, Stone Cold can still swing some potatoes, and I'm sure The Rock can. I mean, he's been staying physically fit
Mm-hmm.
for the longest. So
I would love to see it. And, to answer to follow up on your question, that kind of scenario, I think would make it a 10 for me because that, just to kind of just, and it goes to show just how important the presentation is on so many of those people. When that glass hits, it's almost like the Undertaker's gong. I'm 15 again, and I get the chills. I get just get like the full body chills, knowing that, as my guy JR would say, business is about to pick up.
whenever JR say that, he means it. Like it's not something he just says. It's not something where like he says something. It's not the word epic. Let's just say that it's not the word epic. If epic comes out of
But it is a
JR's
new
mouth,
era, though. It is a new era.
it is a new era. But when JR says something of that magnitude, that means business has picked up. It means that this moment right here is a very special moment. This moment right here, you will forever remember, because business has picked up. Because some shit is about to pop off. And when not Undertaker, excuse me, Stone Cold music hit, that the glass breaks, right? He comes out, and it's just like, oh my God, what is going to happen? What he's going to do? Is he going to show up in a RTV? Is he going to show up in a truck? Is he going to show up in a darn what was that thing he showed up in from hockey? It was like it cleans the hockey.
Zamboni. Yeah,
Zamboni. My God. Like you want, and that's the thing. Like they so warped in trying to get these virtual moments and stuff like that. Just go back to the basics, bro. Like just go back to stuff where you would have never expected. Like I kind of got that feeling a little bit with Brock and Roman, when Brock showed up in the darn forklift and lifted the car, like stuff like that. Like chaos. Let's get back to the chaos. It's not enough chaos as it once was. I was obviously we're in a different era, like this, that, and the third, but you can still mix a little bit of the past into the future. So
without hanging on to the past. You can definitely bring in the past, but also set up the future too.
Yes, I mean, like, and then okay, all right, perfect example. The past two shows, right? Past two shows, SmackDown. It started off with chaos. Jey Uso was laid out. Nobody knows what happened. Utter chaos. It wasn't the old traditional, people walking in. Oh, Jay just came in the champion, and here's Judgment Day, and this, that, the third. The old sports walk in crap. No, that is not what we're used to. We're used to JR talking. They're flying the camera around the crowd or whatever the case may be. Welcome in to such and such city. This is Monday Night Raw. We're all or like the pyro coming down and blowing the stage up and this, that, and third. And then instantly, boom, we don't even get to the past, present, and future, you know, clip. We get the straight chaos. Oh, what's going on? What happened? Monday night. Um
Exactly.
how it started off. It started off with I think the Vision had came out first. I can't even remember what happened beginning of the night. But Paul Heyman got a chair to the back. Paul Heyman nose was bleeding. Paul Heyman was in an ambulance. Jimmy smiling. You look up, it's Alien Knight driving the damn ambulance. Like, I need stuff like that. Surprises like that. That's what Stone Cold used to do. Stone Cold would be, I remember that Vince McMahon. I think his ankle had broke or something, whatever the case may be. But he was in the cast. He was sitting in a hospital bed. He's telling people off and all this other stuff. And he's like, nurse, nurse. And then Stone Cold turns around. And he's in a damn doctor's outfit. Like, I need that. I need that excitement. Like, I need those moments. The infamous moment of Stone Cold
Swinging that bedpan and hitting him in the head with a metal
swinging a
bedpan.
bedpan and hit him in the head. Don't know if the man peed already in or not. Like, moments like that. And then, the infamous moment with Stone Cold and Booker T just destroying that grocery store. But like, we need to get back to that chaos. I mean, we on the road to WrestleMania, people. We need more chaos. It shouldn't be a nice, calm ride of full of promos and advertisement. No, I need foot going across people's face, people getting thrown through glass, something. I need Jane come out yeeting, and all of a sudden Logan Paul comes behind him and beats the holy crap out of his head, or Austin Theory, stuff like that. I don't need the same old regular uh uh song and dance. I need something crazy to continue on to get me hyped for this big Super Bowl of shows.
Couldn't agree more. Could not agree more. Got a long road ahead of you, WWE. What you got?
What you got?
Yeah, what you got? Well, one more quick thing before we run here. You think we get a new you think we get a new champion Friday night? You think Drew goes down? I kind of do.
Well, I mean, and once again, like I said, kayfabe is dead. So, with the recent reports of people saying that like Drew wasn't meant to have a long title run, and then like it only makes, and I told you this before. Like, I think we talked about it on the show. It makes more sense for Cody to be champion and Randy going after him for the title, because now you put a teacher versus student, you put friend versus friend. Like, Cody is one of Randy's dearest friends, but at the same time, is Randy willing to do what's need to be done to win that title? And
Business is
obviously, that person is starting to creep back out.
Yeah.
Like, yes, you are my friend, but I would do literally anything to get that title.
It's like I love you, but I will go through hellfire and brimstone and kick your head off to get that title again.
If you're not familiar with the movie Glass, right? That's a perfect example. Like,
Okay.
yes, we see the family man Randy. Yes, we see this new and improved guy who's loving and want to teach the younger talent and this, that, and the third. But like that, or even Spider-Man, with Green Goblin, right?
Right.
Uh, Norman Osborn is trying to keep that side down, right? But that side keeps tapping, like, hey, 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 let me out, let me out. And Aleister Black don't make anything better when he's sitting there just poking that bear to the point where the voices are getting louder. Hell, Randy even said, the voices never stop. It's just, I learned to control them.
Yes.
But what if Randy gets to that point where he can't control it anymore and he goes back to old Randy? So,
I would love to see it. I would love to see it. And
man,
I
can you
think,
see the? Oh my God, you think what Drew did to Cody was bad? Man, it ain't nowhere near what Randy would do. Randy probably catch Cody in that darn bus. He's sitting there just drinking American whiskey, and he feel American whiskey just go right across his head.
crack a bottle of Wheatley's upside his head.
Right. Oh, oh, he's doing an episode of what do you want to talk about? Right. And then Randy comes in and beats the holy crap out of him during the episode. You know it will happen.
Can they do it? Can they pull this off? I hope. I really hope.
I I Hey, WWE, if you really want me to wear a Danhausen shirt and paint my face like them, please give me those three things I want. I want
Yes.
Dom to lose that AAA title. I want him to go on the longest losing streak of all time. And I want Randy to turn back to the '09 Randy where he just didn't give a darn.
Let's go. Let's go. That's a great place to end this episode, my friend. It's been a hell of an episode. You want to do this again next week?
Absolutely. Man, look, after Dom got cursed, I'm ready to continuously talk about all the segments and where them two face off again. So
Wow. Oh, I can't wait to see it. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening to the Wrestling Roundtable podcast. Check us out on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And join us next week. For Dominik LaRue, I'm Ryan Hall. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening. And until we eat again, so long for now. Come back next week or we will curse you.
thank you.